When the Dark Knight joins forces with the Penguin and Harvey Bullock in order to do battle against a cult of immortals, there's no telling what dark secrets they'll uncover. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Detective Comics issue number 1099 and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue left off, our very unlikely trio of protagonists was attempting to escape the Elixir HQ only for Batman and his allies to get positively Swiss cheesed by enemy gunfire. It's in his internal monologue, Batman actually does some pretty wonderful psychological profiling on Ambrose, the member of Elixir he's been dealing with most recently. Remember that when he left, Batman was actually holding up Ambrose's right-hand man and head torturer, meaning that it was actually that guy who ended up eating the bulk of bullets. In his internal monologue, Batman says he's fought a lot of truly horrible, truly monstrous individuals over his life, but that for his money, which is substantial, let's face it, is the people like this guy who lack any and all empathy. I mean, hey, even bad men love their mamas, and even some true supervillains have at least one or two people in their lives they'd be willing to risk it all to protect. Not this guy, though. Ambrose and his followers are truly selfish and self-centered to the core. It's why they've spent all this time and ruined all these lives in an attempt to prolong their own existence. But it's exactly those personality flaws that Batman sees fit to try and exploit in his battle against Elixir. He calls up the Batwing to start dropping a series of missiles, not to actually hurt anyone, but to create a feeling of plausible enough death that all the rank-and-file members of Elixir decide to turn tail and run to save themselves. And I mean, it makes sense. People obsessed with immortality usually only are because they fear death. And hey, you know what? If you're starting to get the feeling that Elixir's whole mystique as an unstoppable cult of immortals is beginning to wane, oh man, you ain't seen nothing yet. Ambrose attempts to sneak out the back, only to be grabbed by a very vengeful Penguin. Remember, it wasn't that long ago Ambrose had come to Gotham and threatened Oswald by saying that his whole city would burn. Now the shoe is very much on the other flipper, and naturally the Penguin is taking every opportunity to gloat. The question naturally then becomes, what the hell are they going to actually do with Ambrose? This guy is clammed up and is refusing to answer any of Batman's questions. Thankfully, though, he doesn't have to, as Penguin and Bullock are more than happy to play bad cop and batter cop. Batman makes a big stink about them not torturing before eventually leaving and coming right back. Thankfully, once again, Batman's psychological read on Ambrose turned out to be 100% on the money. This dude is a giant coward who was willing to give up his true boss the second it meant saving his own skin. This, of course, leads to the question, what the hell is Elixir's real deal? And the answer is honestly kind of hilarious. Basically, they're all fake, 100% smoke and mirrors. They pass themselves off as this incredibly powerful and ancient immortality cult, but in reality they're nothing more than a goddamn pyramid scheme. Oh sure, they've had some minor success with stuff like Sangrel, but they didn't make that. All they've really managed to do is scam some powerful politicians and captains of industry by promising them to extend their lives through the same use of the Lazarus Pit that's allowed the likes of Ra's al Ghul to cheat death forever. Oh, but the best part is they didn't even really make good to most of their members. Only Ambrose, his right-hand torturer, and the big boss himself ever actually got to use the pit. Now, who exactly is the big boss? Well, he goes by the name Perpetuum Vita, and if you even have just a little understanding of Latin, you'll already know that means eternal life. He also just so happens to live in the basement of this very facility in a hypoallergenically sealed room. Batman demands to go on his own, but after coming this far, Penguin and Harvey want to see this caper through to the very end. Ambrose leads them down to the basement where he tries to seek an audience with Vita, only to end up getting burned alive. Yeah, so it seemed that Vita was actually watching them this whole time via closed-circuit cameras, and also, you know what, all the immortality in the world doesn't do you much if you're not also invincible. Now, when Batman and his two unlikely allies end up coming face to face with Vita, they are overcome with laughter. This guy truly is both pathetic and insane in equal measure. For one, he's wearing a shower cap and slippers a la Howard Hughes, out of fear that germs and contamination might get him. As Oswald so eloquently puts it, Jesus Christ, you have spent your entire existence dedicated to not dying, that somewhere along the way you forgot how to live. The best part is that Vita thinks he's actually beat beaten Batman in this situation. Oh, sure, you managed to breach my perimeter, but this is unbreakable glass. You can't get me because I'm gonna be sealed in here for the next 5 years. Oh, so you basically arrested yourself on your own? Huh. I mean, your cult is dismantled, your 2 best agents are dead. And when Batman gets back to Gotham, he's going to blow the whistle on everyone you've been scamming, so you're basically done and did it all yourself. The true dark irony in this situation is that Elixir and Vita probably could have ended up flying under the radar for way longer if only they didn't make the dire mistake of screwing with Gotham. Now that's where the main story ends, but we're also treated to a little epilogue as well, where Harvey goes back to his original mentor, thanks him for the evidence that allowed them to take down Elixir, while also offering him a little bit of sangrel for himself, the idea being that this guy saved Harvey's life back when he was a rookie, and also perhaps with a few more years, this dirty cop might actually find the way to redeem himself. And yeah, that's where the comic comes to an end, everybody, and so that was Detective Comics issue number 1099, and overall I thought it was a pretty good ending. Not a great ending, but pretty good. I'm actually a little surprised this one ended up being as short as it was, I guess because it just jumped off the finale of the previous stuff with Asima, and probably had to wrap up early too because the next issue is a big anniversary issue. I just can't help but shake the feeling that there was like a middle part here we might very well be missing. Not that I wasn't satisfied with the conclusion, because I was. I absolutely love the idea that in a world full of cults and actual immortal beings, Elixir and Vita ended up being nothing but a group of sleazy con men who were playing up at being Ra's al Ghul level players when they very obviously were not. There's something just so darkly ironic and funny about that. I sincerely doubt we'll see Vita down the line anytime soon, or any other writer and creative team rushing to use the character ever again, but I certainly know I'm going to remember them for such a hilarious out of left field reveal. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7.5 out of 10, and I'll definitely be interested to see what's coming down the line for the big issue 1100.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.